that we need to know to be able to model your 3D parts and machines and whatever you want to model. Okay, so at the top here we have sets of tools. We call this one the title bar, then the menu bar here, right? Then we have these ribbons. These ribbons are set of tools for specific purposes. So this first one here is for features. We have the tools to create features like extrude, revolve, split, loft, the boundary walls, and the likes like that. Then, like if you want to create sketches, you come here, then you would select any tool you want to use. If you want to draw a line, you click on line, or you can select the type of line that you want to draw. Click on the drop down list. Then you can select center line, midpoint line, or outline. Then same thing goes for circle. If you want to go under this ribbon here, having these tools for sketch, you can select the type of circle you want. So a perimeter normal circle. The same thing goes for spline. Just drop down a list for the different types of splines that you can have. We have the normal spline, the style spline, the spline on surface, equation driven curve. So this one, if you select a plane or insert a plane to your 3D sketch, we use this tool here. If you want to draw a box or rectangle, basically four-sided polygons. You come here. If you want to draw your rectangle using a corner rectangle method, you select this. I'm going to show us what this is. I want to quickly run over it first. Then the center rectangle, 3 point corner rectangle, 3 point center rectangle, parallelogram. So your arcs, if you want to draw arcs, click on this drop down arrow to bring up a list of arcs where you can select the type of arc you want to draw, whether center point or tangential arc or 3 point arc. Most times we make use of the center point arc. Here in the ellipse, we have different types of ellipse as well. Depends on what you are dealing with or what you are working with at the moment. Then if you want to write text, like letters, you can come here. Now slot. So we have different methods of drawing slots here and different types of slots. We have the straight slot, the center point slot, right? Then the 3 point arc slot. This arc slot is for curved slots. Let's say you want to draw a slot that has a radius or a curved axis or a curved path. If you're selecting this, if you want to draw a slot with a curved path and you want to measure the distance from a particular point to the path of that slot, you will select this tool here. Then for polygons, for more than 4 sides, or basically any number of sides, you select this and you draw a polygon. So it's for fillets. When you click on the down arrow, you can draw your chamfer. Once I activate my sketch, I'll be able to show us all this here. Then you want to drop a point, you select this. Then you want to frame, use this convert entities. So convert entities is used to project edges or to project cut edges or to project geometry. Let's say I have a particular sketch, then I selected the face on that model, and I want to bring out the edges of that model behind the face I selected, and I don't want to draw the lines all over again. I'll just select this. It will help me pick out and draw the lines of the edges, about the edges of that model on that sketch. It will bring it up to the plane I am currently working with. Okay, so these are all for the sketch ribbon. Then we go to the surfaces. So this one is for surface modeling. You want to go about surface modeling. You come here, select whatever tool. You can load here, you can switch, you curve, you can also extrude the surface. Then delete faces, replace faces, you can trim a surface, you can knit surfaces together. So what do we mean by knit surface? If you have two surfaces and you want to combine them as one body, you're going to use this. Yeah, so when you design stuff like airport that are very, very slim, that's some designs that you need to use surface modeling to design them. The likes of earpiece, your airport. So when you design and you want to knit or combine them together, you're going to use this tool. As well, we have ticking. So if you want to create surfaces, let's say you created a surface, you need to tick in it. You select this tool here. Okay, so sheet metal, the same goes for sheet metal. These are the commands you're using for sheet metal modeling. So Redman, move tools, mesh modeling, directly, Alex. You can also go about simulations here. Now, if you want to measure or evaluate masses, which you'll be working with mostly for your CSWA preparation, CSWP, and some other exams here. You come to evaluate, you want to measure the length of an edge or the distance from one face to another face. You use measure. I'll be showing also this in there, but let me just explain briefly for now. So markup to create markup on touches, right? To create edits on drawings. So this is what you'll be using mostly. So you want to evaluate, select mass properties after you have modeled a 3D or you have to model. So you come here, evaluate, select mass properties, and to read out the properties of that, to read out the mass in kilograms or in grams of that particular model that you just modeled. You can also use sensor. You can also use sensor to monitor. You you can set your sensor before you start modeling. Yeah. The network is really bad. Okay, so to select a particular, because you can specify the material in the question. Yes. Okay, so the network kicked me out. I'm back. So the first thing I want to do before you start modeling is to select the sketch. Select the sketching. So you can also 3D sketch here. Yeah, you can 3D sketch in SolidWorks. So the one that we are used to is 2D sketch, or you can actually 3D sketch here. That means you can draw in 3 dimensions and draw in space. Your sketch is not going to be restricted or constrained to just a particular plane or a particular surface. You'll be able to sketch space. Okay, so I want to draw it. I want to start my sketch. So I'll click on sketch. Then you can select whatever plane you want to use. So whether I want to use the top plane or the right plane or the front. So anyone you want to use. So let me take us through the beginning. When you open your SolidWorks, you'll be asked which type of file do you want to create, or which type of document do you want to create. You want to create a part document or a part file. So I'll select part and I'll click on OK. So after I've opened my part file, I'll come to I'll click on sketch and I can select any of the planes I want to. Okay, I want to work on the front plane. So I want to draw a sample here. Just come to sketch, select your sample to the and you can draw about the origin or any point you want to start from. Mind you, before you start drawing, ensure your unit is correct. So I'll be cancelling this to change my unit. So once we change to mmgs, that's millimeter gram per second, I'm the correct unit. So I'll draw my circle again on the front plane. Okay, so I'll be selecting my origin to start from. You left click on your mouse, then drag the mouse upwards. Then you can specify the dimension of your circle. Let's say 50 millimeters. Then you can press enter. So I've done the circle. You want to draw another circle. I just draw a circle starting from any point. I want to draw a line. I'll select my line. Then you can start from any point. Left click and you move your mouse to the direction you want the line to be drawn. Okay, so I've drawn my line now. Then you press S exit a command. Yeah, you press escape to exit the command. Now I want to set equations for my dimensions. Set equations for my dimensions. Because we are going to work parametric equations for the sake of the exam. Come to features, select equations. So now they are going to specify values of dimension to specific variables. We call them global variables. Okay, so click on the first box under global variable. Let's say A is equal to 20 millimeters. Type in A here and you press enter to take it to the value. So I want to type the value of my A variable as 20 and you press enter. So I have set a particular value to my A variable. So another variable now, I want to set another variable B. I'll type in B here. I'll press enter and I'll specify the dimension for my B variable. Let's say 15 millimeters. I'll press enter. So let's say C is an equation of A plus B. I'll click on add global variable. I'll type in C, press enter. I want to type in A plus B. I am not going to type letter A plus letter B. I'll rather select from my global variables. So the arrow to the list, I'll select A and plus. I will not type B. I will select from my global variable. I'll select B. So I can press enter now. You can see to compute A plus B for me, that's 17. So I've set my parametric equations for my design for the particular question I'm working on. So you press enter. Okay, click on OK. Okay, so another very important point. Your sketch must be fully constrained, like fully defined. If you're seeing your sketch in yellow color, like in blue color, that means your sketch is underdefined. It has to be fully defined. And when it's fully defined, you see it in black color like this. So how do I fully define my sketch? I'll make my sketch fixed or constrained to certain dimensions, right? So let's say I want the distance from the center of the circle to the center of the circle to be variable C. That's 70 millimeters, right? If I do that, I want to make them collinear, like it should be horizontal on the same line. So I want to add the constraints now. So I'll select the two center points for the circles, and I'll make them horizontal. So this way they're going to be on the same line, collinear. Now I want to specify the dimension from first circle to the second circle to be variable C. So you can come to sketch, smart dimensions, select the first center, Select the second center, drag your mouse down. I don't have selected dimensions. Smart dimension, face center, the second center, drag the mouse down. I want to set my dimensions to a particular global variable. What do I do? I'm going to use my equal. So press equal to on your keyboard. Don't just type A. O. I type A, I'm wrong. I'll press equal to. Then to bring up these options, then I'll select on global variable. Come to the arrow and the midis at the front, and I'll select same. Right. So now then so select dimension to select smart dimension, select the sample, drag the mouse up, then drop it by left clicking. So I've dropped the dimension of this sample. Now I will show us how to edit dimensions. Or I can just specify it from here. I don't specify it yet, but also how to edit. So I'll just click on green tick. Okay, so from here, you can see that my small circle is fully defined because it's showing black color now. Now I can work with this profile, this page. Let me delete this one, okay. So now my two circles are fully defined. I want to edit this dimension to dimension A because you'll be working with parametric equations for your CSWA exams. So let's click twice. I'll press equal to. I'll count my global variables. I'll select A. I'll click on the 20. Cancel. Now I'll my sigma symbol. If your sigma symbol does not show, that means you have not set your parametric equation for the dimension. That symbol has to show it has come up. So now we have a mass symbol. That means this circle has been constrained to the dimension of that variable A. Right. So I have to draw lines to connect these two circles. So select line. It starts from any point on this, stop on any point on this circle. Now, how do I make them tangential? I cannot just draw like this. I need to make my sketch fully defined. I see it is color blue. That's be black. So I'm going to make this line tangential to this color. So I'll set this line. I'll hold control and I'll select this circle. And I'll have a set of screens on, on the left side here, now select tangent. So I'll do the same to you. I'll select the line, I'll select the software. Okay, it has been titled already. When you see this symbol, it means that line and that software are already tangential. But let's try to add it to give an error now. Okay, fine. So now this one is tangential to this, and this is tangential to this software. I want to mirror this line about a axis. So I'll transfer this line, mirror to this side. My cam. I'm designing a cam model. So I'll draw my center line here. Come to line, select center line, and I'll start from the midpoint of this software. You don't need to stop it. Just make sure it is collinear about two midpoints like this. And let's click. Press escape to exit the command. So I want to make this line mirrored about this axis. I'll click on this line. I'll come to mirror entities. And I'll select my plane or axis. I want to mirror it about. So I want to mirror about this axis. Can you see? To mirror it to this other side for me. So click on green tick. So I want to trim this part and this part. So you select trim. Left click and hold. We don't want to trim. I will show the face and the front. I'll left click and I'll hold. And I'll come out that I want to trim or erase. I can just come to that part I want to erase and click on it. But this one is not it's not too efficient and it's not too fast. I can just do this nice one and do this. I have my closed loop. They are all dark colors. And they are fully defined. They are parametric, right? I can make this one parametric as well. But let me end this page first. Or let me exit this command rather. Press escape. I want to make this dimension to be parametric. So that when I put my next question and they ask for a different variable or a different value for my variable, let's say variable A was 20. Then go to question 2, and question 2 says variable A should be 30. If variable A is 30, I don't need to start dimensioning all over again. If I have my parametric equation set already, it automatically updates that model to the new value of variable. Okay, let's go. Press equal to, I want to set as variable name. So now you see that it will have a sigma symbol. Alright, let's come up. So now I have my dimensions, my parametric equations perfectly set. Now if I change the values of the parameters or variables, it automatically updates. Right. So let's extrude this reading more to this case. How do I extrude? Let's end this case first. Can you see my sketch is fully defined? This sketch is not fully defined. You'll probably miss that question and you'll miss the next question and you miss the next question because it has to be parametric, fully defined. This is not fully defined. And you change the dimension of any of the parts. When you go to the next question to update the value, to scatter your whole sketch, start looking upward, haphazard, scattered. Okay, so is it sketch? I want to extrude now. Right. So ensure your sketch is selected. If it's not selected, click on sketch. As you can see, so it's selected like this. Come to features, click on extruded box. If I wanted to put, I'll click on extruded box. If I want to add, so I'll click on extruded box. Just like I want to join instead of put. Alright, so we want different types of extrusions. What about if I want to extrude about my about the front plane that I selected, symmetric about that plane, I'll be selecting under this list, under this arrow on my list, I'll select mid plane. Now I'll have my extrusion symmetric about that plane. If I want to extrude to a direction, a single direction, I'll click on blind. When it comes to a particular dimension, if you want to go to the other direction, I'll click on flip. I used to go to direction, but I want to use mid plane. I want to set my dimension to a particular global variable. I'll press equal, come to my global variables, select A, and I'll click on green tick. Can you see? Okay, I'll click on this. Okay, so now I've extruded our sketch. How do I pan? How do I rotate? How do I fill it? How do I move? How do I zoom with my mouse on SolidWorks? So I want to believe we are all using mouse and not different. Okay, let's go. On your mouse, if you want to rotate, that's real bit. You press down the wheel, that's the scroll wheel. Press it down, then you move the mouse to fill bit that particular model. You want to move, I'll press down Control key. Then I'll press down my scroll wheel and I'll move. If you want to zoom in and out, I'll just scroll up or down to zoom out. We want to set a material to this part. Come to material, right click, edit material. So let's say they give us AISI 1060. in our question. You can select from the list. You can search for the material in the list. So I'll be selecting AISI 1020. If this was the material given in the question, I'll click on apply. Once you apply, it will change. Can you see? Material has changed. Apply, then close. Can you see the material has changed? Even the color has changed. If I want to set a sensor to track my mass, I'll click on sensor. Right click, add sensor, and I'll select mass because I want to track my mass as I am modeling. I don't want to be coming to evaluate the mass property every time. So I'll select mass property as a sensor type. I have other sensor types. I'll select dimension measurement. I want mass property. I'll click on tick. So now you see it will give me my mass 575.96 grams. So I'll be asking questions now. I'll give room for us to ask questions if we have any. If I finish, it was well for today. Okay, you can ask the questions now if you have any question.
Oh, sorry. Anyone that asks question, you can raise your hand. I think I didn't set it that we could speak. So if you have any question, just raise your hand. Thank you. So, and thank you very much, Mr. Jaiyeoba, for this training that you took out of your time to create for us. And so thank you very much. We really appreciate it. So for anyone that has any question, can just raise your hand so that we can uh, take note of it. Thank you. So and the meeting is also recorded. So should you have any question, I'm like, if you want to go back to it at any point in time, so you can always go back to it. Then it will be posted on YouTube too, and the link will be sent to the WhatsApp group. Thank you.
So if I say to the over parts, like what do you mean by the over parts?
No, no, no. I think that was when your network was having issue.
Okay, okay. Ajiboye, you can ask a question.
Ajua, you can unmute now and ask your question.
Have a good evening.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
sorry. If I want to start up a new part, uh, can I just set this sensor that as I am extruding, I'm cutting, as I'm doing all those other stuff, it will be changing the mass, the sensor.
Yeah, that's the base. So you can track your mass development and increment. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. So if I like, I can just put it up in a template. So I will just set it to the parts, then templates. As I'm sketching it, to just be changing it for me.
Okay, I guess your question. Said yeah,
Hmm?
because if you want to be coming to evaluate, the exam is timed. You don't have enough time to be checking this every time. Like just come here, click on sensor, add your sensor, and make sure you update and rebuild that model before you check your sensor. Look at now, my sensor is 575.96. If I change any feature or any dimension here, don't rebuild. It might have not changed immediately. It might take some seconds before this will change. So if you just read off here without rebuilding or updating that model, you can read off the former mass, which might be wrong for your new feature or for the new material you added or the new dimension you used. So I'll give an example now.
Hmm.
I'll change the dimension from the equation now. So next equation. This is 575.96. So I want to use A as 20 as 15 from 575.96. We'll solve now. Change this to 15, press equal to. Now select OK. So from 575.96, the mass is going to change from our sensor right there. So 575.96, it took some time before it changed. There was a few seconds down. 96 to 386. If this is reviewed, my new mouse. Yes, add your sensor before you start anything abroad. Leaving the right thing. I'll answer your question.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, yes, I would also like to impute this. I was opportune to like someone that did the exam, I think yesterday. So he had issues with this changing of the, how do I call it? Some of those when you are doing the exams, so they give you some variables that you have to change using the equations tab that we can see on the screen. So the person actually wasted a lot of time because he had to go back to the sketches, then start changing everything one by one. So it actually took a lot of his time. So please, when you are doing your exam, it's important to learn the equations. I've not used this sensor before, but I think this is a new one. But in case you're not quick with this sensor, it's also good to have your what they call it, your mass property on. Uh, Give it a keyboard shortcut that you can easily press, that it would immediately give you your mass property. Because
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
when you are working on some model, it might not require you to find the mass of everything you are seeing. Might just be a simple part from it. So it's very good you know how to access that your mass property, and then add your, and also get uh, your add your material selection. So thank you very much everyone for attending. And we are also appreciative to Mr. Jaiyeoba for giving us this short session. Uh, we hope to continue next week, and then we hope for better and more experience next week. So thank you very much everyone for attending. Thank you very much, Mr. Jayoba, uh, and thank you very much again to everyone for attending. So I would stop recording now, and the link I would be updating the YouTube with this short tutorial that we went through today, and then um, I would also post the link on the WhatsApp group chat. So thank you very much everyone again for attending, and have a great day. Thank you very much, Oluwalashe. Yeah, thank you very much.